All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And like I promised earlier, I decided I am going to do another video, and it's one people have been asking about for a while. They've been asking me about some videos about comics that I'm investing in. A lot of the comics that I've been investing in are books that, videos I've already talked about years ago, but these are books. I think maybe one I might have shown, but the rest I'm just getting into. Some of them are affordable. Some of them are a little expensive, but not out of the realm of possibility. But I feel that they will have a lot more potential because of upcoming either movies or TV shows. So I got 5 books that I'm going to show you that I'm currently investing in. And you might be thinking about investing in these as well. And one of the things I always say is, if you are buying any comics or anything for investment purposes, make sure you do your own research. Don't just buy something because somebody else said you should. Make sure you know what the prices are. Look for deals. Do some research on your own. There's nothing wrong with taking people's advice. But if you do it without any research on your own, you are more likely going to fail than you'll succeed. So don't just buy the first book that you buy. If you see one here and you say, I want to get that, make sure you know what the value of the comic is. Wait for deals if you can, and you'll have the best opportunity. But always remember, there are risks involved. So please make sure you know about that if you invest in anything. Because like I said, some of these books might be a little bit expensive, but there's nothing in the thousands of dollars range that I'm about to show you here. Alright, so let me put on my video camera so you can see the books. I'm basically doing unboxings. So I got 5 packages that I'm going to unbox, and I will tell you why I'm investing in them, the price I paid for these, and you can make your own decision from there. At least this isn't a manila envelope, but it's one of those thinner Gemini mailers. As long as the comic is okay, that's all I care about. Doesn't look bent or anything like that. So yeah, these are definitely potential books. I'm starting with the cheapest ones, and they will get a little bit more expensive as they go. This one, to me, is a no-brainer. And I'll explain in a second. I want to get all the tape off of this. This is a variant of the original cover. This one, from what I understand, is a little bit harder to find. I bought a bunch of them for the speculation purposes. Now, if you've seen the Zack Snyder Justice League reshoot and his version, and you watched until the end, you'll probably know where I'm going with this. Whether it happens or not, it depends, but I don't think they would put that end credit scene in if they did not have plans for the future of this movie. This is a great read. It's a great story and a great idea. Hopefully DC can put the time, effort to do it justice, but this is the book, the first book. I have a feeling they're going to be doing the Injustice Gods Among Us in the DCU. Now, of course, I cannot guarantee that, but this is Injustice 1, Gods Among Us. Now, this is the game variant. It came with the more expensive versions of the game, which, by the way, it's almost like watching a movie. The actual cutaway clips in the video game are actually better than some DC movies that have been out there. So it's definitely worth getting. So there is the regular copy, but this is the one I would highly recommend. I bought a bunch of these with anticipation of this happening. Now, this may not happen for a couple of years, so you're going to sit on this for a while, but I only paid $12.94 for this. You're going to pay between $15 and up to $30 for an ungraded copy of this book. I believe, in my opinion, if that movie happens, that's a steal. So that's the first book that I would highly recommend taking the chance on, and that's the cheapest one, so you're not risking a lot, because if it doesn't work, and you spent $15, I'm sure you can live with that. So that is definitely a book I would take a chance on. Like I said, I'm buying several copies of that book with anticipation. And when it comes to spec books, I'm usually pretty spot on. I mean, I don't get everything 100% right, and anybody that claims that they do is a liar. But if you've seen my track record and my history of books that I've been telling you to buy over the years, and I have plenty of videos that you can go back and verify, I think that one has a good spec. Alright, so this is another one that's going to be a little bit rarer. Instead of just getting the regular first issue, this is Injustice Gods Among Us. This is the Walmart 3-pack. So this has 3 different comics in it, and of course they didn't flip the other side over, so I have no idea what the other 2 comics are. But this has never been opened. So instead of getting just the regular version, of course, you know, get all of them if you can. The 3-pack from Walmart is definitely worth getting, because obviously this is going to be a newsstand variant, because Walmart is not a comic store. I paid $37.49 for this 3-pack. I think that is a no-brainer for this book, and definitely worth taking the chance on. Again, that's provided the movie does happen. So it's a spec comic, but definitely one that you can get pretty cheap. Alright, here is another spec comic. This is a Marvel book. This is based on an upcoming TV show of a possible villain that may be introduced, and I'll, of course, explain my thoughts. Alright, so they did a good job of wrapping this up. And I want to thank, so far, 9 people out of the 34 have been kind enough to hit the like button. If you are one of those kind people and you can hit that like button, it definitely helps get my information out there. Don't forget to wait until the end of the video, because I always do a surprise subscriber shout-out for one of my people in the live chat. I mean, you don't even have to be a subscriber, but hopefully you will subscribe to my channel. And there are benefits to being the surprise subscriber shout out. Alright, so they folded a couple of backing boards, they wrapped it in newspaper. So give me a second to unravel this whole thing. This one's a graded version of this book, but obviously you can buy raw versions. I mean, buy what you love, buy what you afford, and you'll never be wrong. But one of the things I say is, if you're buying a book for spec purposes, sometimes it's better to buy a book you don't like, because it makes it easier to sell or trade it later on, because you don't have that attachment. Alright. So this book looks pretty good. This is the next spec book that I would recommend you checking out. This. It's graded 9.6 CGC. This is Secret Wars, which we have a feeling is going to end up in the MCU. So there's twofold in this. Obviously, if you have the entire series of the Secret Wars, you're going to be lucked out. But this is Secret Wars number 3. This is the first appearance of Titania, or Titania. That is the #1 villain from She-Hulk. There is going to be a She-Hulk TV show coming. They have not said that she is going to be in the show, but it would be a little shocking if they don't use She-Hulk's #1 villain, and this is the first appearance. So this is another book. You can get raw or graded cheap. I got this graded. Obviously, I didn't grade it. I bought it graded 9.6 with white pages for only $95.89. So I think that is another book that is definitely worth it. Daniel says, is it just issue 1 of Injustice Gods Among Us that you recommend? Well, I mean, obviously, if you want to get the whole series, there's nothing wrong with that, but #1 issues, the first appearance of something, tends to always be the most desirable, and there are no real, I don't believe there are any first appearances in that book. It's just a great storyline with all the original characters. So, I mean, if you want to get the whole set, then, you know, go for it, but the #1 issue tends to be the one that is the most desirable. So again, I paid $95 for that book. Definitely one worth taking the chance on. And you can see you could probably get the raw books for under $20. Of course, it depends on the grade. This is the one book. Now, these are where they start getting expensive. This is one book I've unboxed before, so you may or may not have already seen this. And going by the view count of my videos, I'm sure most haven't, because out of almost 10,000 subscribers, my average view on my channel is about 300-400, so most of you probably didn't see it. So this is another spec book. This one is not going to be cheap, but it's if this happens, and I think they've already confirmed it, but nothing has been made yet, so even confirmations don't guarantee anything, and it also doesn't guarantee if it's good or not. So as usual, there are risks involved, and I cannot stress that enough, but I trust my instincts. Alright, so let me just remove this tape. So it's this book that I got, they said is a 9.8 potential. Definitely looks like that is the case. Book worth getting. This is Champions #1. This is the 1 in 100 Alex Ross variant. This is the most desirable of the Champion books. This is the first appearance of the Champions. Now, there are no first appearances, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe there are any first appearances of characters. But, I mean, if you look at Avengers #1, there were no first appearances of any character, and look how valuable that book is. Now, obviously, I'm not saying this is the same status as Avengers #1 from the Silver Age, but what I'm saying is it's the first appearance of a team that is going to either have a TV show or a movie, because like I said, anything can change, and nothing has been officially set into motion yet. But they did say the Champions are coming to the MCU. So people are not paying attention to this right now because there are no, there's no trailers, there's no announcements or anything. So out of sight, out of mind. So obviously any of the variants or even the regular cover of Champions is worth getting. But this is the one that I absolutely feel will do the best. Now this book in a 9.8 right now is selling between, I think, like $500 and $1,000. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I paid a total of $178 for this book. So that is not out of the realm of possibility. And definitely, if you can get it for under $200, I would highly recommend getting that book and taking the chance on it. If you understand there is a risk. Alright, so the last one, and we're up to 18 likes out of the 48. So we got a couple more likes, so thank you for that. This person packaged this awesome. This is one ungraded comic in this box. And just to show you, so they went above and beyond. Here is one comic. So I always tell people when I buy from eBay, when they're not scammers, if they could please put it in a box so no postal worker can ever fold a parcel into your mailbox. So they did an awesome job with this, so shout out to the seller. I'll just say his name is Jose because I don't want to give out personal information. So they put it in this big box, and then they put this box inside it. So I always appreciate sellers that go above and beyond. So I'm going to make sure I give that guy or girl, I don't want to assume. Well, then again, it did say Jose, so I would assume that is, well, these days you can't assume anymore. But shout out to that seller. We'll just leave it at that so no one gets offended. So this is a book that is not cheap, but will not stay cheap, because this character is going to have their own TV show. And again, they said this is a 9.8 potential. This is one I might list for next month's picks. So this is definitely a book that's not going to be cheap, but it's not going to stay cheap when she arrives. This is Miss Marvel #2. This is the Molina variant. Now, I'm not sure if this is a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 150, 1 or 100. So if anybody knows that, they can put that out there. There is no special appearance in this book. It is the cover that is driving this book in the out of the realm of possibility price-wise. I got this fairly cheap by making a deal. Actually, no. Actually, this is one I bought auction-wise. I paid with shipping and handling $518.15 for this book. So this is an expensive book, but a 9.8 of this book is selling between $800 and $1,000. And that's before anything has been shown as far as a teaser trailer or any kind of announcements. So this is another out of sight, out of mind comic that if you can afford to get, I would recommend highly to take a chance on this. Love this cover. As soon as I saw it, it was a book I wanted. I passed on it for a little while because, you know, there's so many different books that can get out there. It's kind of hard to remember them all. But that is, in my opinion, the one of the books that you should be investing in. So those are the 5 books. 25 people liked this video, so thank you for that. I always appreciate the effort that you all do when it comes to liking the video. Let's do today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. You have to be in the live chat to get one. So we're going to go with Jamie Knott. You're the first surprise subscriber shoutout. And let's see who we pick for number 2. We're going to go with Gazinho10442. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. So if either one of you have a YouTube channel and make videos, you can post the link to either your channel or to one of your videos. And I do have to approve it first. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you could post the link to one of your social networks. If you don't have any social networks that you want to share, and if you sell anything on eBay, Amazon, Square, any of those places, you could post a link there, so I'll let you have the choice of which one you decide. Just keep in mind, I do have to approve it first, just to make sure there is nothing inappropriate for viewers to watch, because I have people of all ages that watch my channel. And if you're one of the people that browses the comments section, if you see a link, that means it has been We Love Comics approved, so make sure you check them out and maybe see what they're selling, or check out one of their videos and subscribe, or give them a thumbs up, or maybe join their social networks and help them get an extra like or 2. So those are the books. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you to the 27 people kind enough to hit the like button. I appreciate this. I'll try and do more of these, but I don't want to just regurgitate the same books over and over again, because a lot of the books that have the value right now I've been talking about since 2016. So I don't want to just keep showing the same books over and over again. So hopefully you saw something here that you think might be worthy of investing in. If you do think that, post it in the comments section. Let me know. And let me know if you have them. And let me know what you think the prices I paid. So sometimes you just got to take the chance. You know, there are plenty of times books could have been purchased cheaper, but, you know, you can't buy everything all at once, otherwise, you know, you'd only have one YouTube video. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you appreciated this video. Your thumbs up will show me. Check out all my other videos, and do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Alright, and now for my power viewers and ultra power viewers. I haven't done a video like this in a little while. We got 2 more bonus unboxings I'm going to do, because I have no idea what's in these. I tried to look them up and I cannot find them. So I'm going to do a live unboxing for my power viewers and ultra power viewers. And if you're not sure what that is, a power viewer is a person that views my video from beginning to end. They don't just watch for 2 seconds or half a video, they watch the entire video. And an ultra power viewer is a person that watches every video from beginning to end. So obviously I have no way of verifying, and that's okay, I'm not going to. But if you are one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers, you will see this. And make sure you leave it in the comment section so other people can know that you enjoy my content, because I do appreciate that. So I got 2 bonus unboxings I'm going to do. I have no idea what's in these. I tried to find out. These are books that I bought fairly recently, but for some reason I cannot find, where they are as far as where they came from. So we're going to find out together. Obviously, unless they enclosed an invoice, I'm not going to know what the prices are. But at least you'll know what the books are. This one, I think, might be from one of the YouTube auctions that I won recently, but I'm not sure because I see a couple of different books. I actually did ask them to put some information in here because I would have given their channel a shout out, because it wasn't the channel that I was subscribed to that I bought these from. It was somebody that was on their video. So I think this is it, but I'm going to see. Yes. Okay. So unfortunately, the person did not add the information. Like I said, I would have given them a shout out, but they didn't enclose the information. So this was something, it was $30 a pull, and if you bought 6, you got 1 free. So I did the 6 to help out. So I paid, I think it was $9 for shipping. So I paid $159, I believe, for these books. So I'll show you the books that I got with the pull. It was random pulls. So if the person that was, I don't even know if they've even subscribe to my channel or watch it, but if you're watching it, you could post the link to your channel. It's a shame they didn't put the information, because I would have been more than happy to give them a shout out. Well, the first one is Sergeant Fury's and his Howling Commandos, number 55. It's in pretty high grade, so I'm not sure if this is worth it for the 30, but hey, you never know. That's the thing about random pulls, you got to take the chance. This is Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 63. Again, these are in higher grades. Looks like they're at least 7.5s and up. Alright, so we got Something is Killing the Children. This is I'm not sure which issue this is. So if anybody knows, let me know. It says a new novel. It says a new novel of startling horror. So I'll have to look this one up. So you'll have to let me know if anybody is seeing this, if they know which issue that is, because it does not say. Then we have Something is Killing the Children, number 7. The King in Black, number 1. This is, I believe, one of the variants, but I'm not sure. I will have to look that. Yeah, a variant edition. And then last but not least, Star Wars, The High Republic, issue number 1. This is, again, one of the variants. So, might be, I'll have to check and see the value, but I paid $159 for all those books. Whether it's worth it or not, who knows? I helped a fellow YouTuber make some money, and I took the chance. It was kind of like doing a lottery thing. So, we got one more package. And Gazenho says, is it 15? I don't know. That's why I was asking. So I'm not sure. So I got one more. And thank you to the 34 people that hit the like button. Like I said, I appreciate that people are kind enough to do that. So this is a little bonus material for those who watch complete videos. So let's see what this one is. All right, so they put a box inside a box filled with wrapping and bubble wrap and everything. So again, another great job of securing this comic. I'm assuming it's a comic, because like I said, I did not know what was in here. It feels like a graded comic. So, and then they put it in a priority mail. So again, another good job. Oh, okay. This is definitely a book I actually wanted to do another video on, but they sent me a different tracking number. Alright, so I could tell you how much I paid for this one, because this was a recent one. I was actually going to do a whole nother separate video. This is another one of those books that should not be sent to CGC. Should have not been sent to CGC. I have many people on many different channels that will say CGC is number one and they do no wrong. They are number one. I'm going to give them actual credit for that. But CGC is not always going to get you the best money. I mean, you could look at some of my auctions I just did, and you'll see that I've sold plenty of PGX books and sold them at or near CGC prices. But there's nothing wrong with CGC, but you should not send a book to the wrong company. Now, this was a signed book. I can't seem to find the price, the auction. This was a signed book, so they sent it to CGC. It was already signed. So you know what's going to happen. It's going to come back because CGC only does the witnessed signatures. It does not matter if you had the artists themselves send a letter of authenticity. It doesn't matter if you had it videotaped. It doesn't matter if you did it 5 feet away in the same area the CGC was. If they do not witness it, they will not verify it. So that means you should not send it to CGC because it will come back a green label qualified. So, again, I know CGC is a great company. I know for the most part you will get the best prices most of the time for your comics. But if you are sending a book that is already signed, you should not be sending it to CGC because you will get a green label. Alright, so I've tried now 5 times to go on my purchase history on eBay, and it keeps giving me the best offer section. So eBay, I don't know, eBay is falling apart these days. I don't know what to say about this company. Alright, so let's just show the book because eBay is being a jerk. Okay, so this is a book that I am definitely taking the chance on speculating on. This is X-Men Annual 14. This is a 9.8. It came with a green label because it was signed by Art Adams, and I've seen his signature, so I can verify that it is his signature. But because the person decided to send it to CGC, it came back a green label, and it says that there is basically writing on the cover. Okay, so I finally found it. So I paid $365.50 for this book, which is about what a regular 9.8 is currently selling for. Now, we know the X-Men are coming to the MCU. Whether Gambit does or not remains to be seen, but the speculators are speculating that this is a book to get. Now, obviously, it is the first cameo, but that is, you know, that is subjective because it's not one panel that he shows up on. He's got several panels where he's talking. Because if a comic character is introduced in several pages but doesn't say anything, that could still be considered a cameo. But there is several panels where he's speaking, and you know who he is. So this one's kind of controversial, but I say always make sure you get both. Obviously, more people are going to want the X-Men 266 because they do show his first time on the cover, but this still has speculation. So it says Art Adams written on the cover. It is a green label. All I have to do is send this in. I'm going to send it into PGX, get it graded. I'm going to send it with the label so they could see it was already graded at 9.8. But now I'll get it verified because that's Art Adams' signature. I mean, obviously I can't guarantee it because I wasn't there, but I've seen his signature many times. So I'll actually have an increased value, and when the X-Men come out in the MCU, and if Gambit ends up in the MCU as part of, maybe they do the 90s version of the X-Men, and I hope they do that, because Cyclops' comic, his costume, especially Jim Lee's run, was probably the best version of Cyclops, where he had that kind of that yellow band, almost looks like an X across, and especially with Rogue, the version of Rogue from the 90s, especially if they do Savage Land, forget it. They should do the romance between Gambit and Rogue. That was an intriguing series, and I would love to see those versions come. And if they do, this book is going to skyrocket. So it's another book that I am anticipating on, and I paid basically what a regular Blue Label 9.8 unsigned would be. So I'm very happy with this book, and that's why I tell people all the time, don't just base things on what the masses say. The masses will all tell you that CGC is the #1 comic company, comic rating company, and they do no wrong. Well, I've seen so many videos where people are unhappy with their service, but yet continually keep using them. I mean, to me, that's like being in an abusive relationship, and you keep going back to them because they say they love you, or maybe because they have a lot of money, or they're really hot looking. You know, sometimes you just gotta go with what works best for you, not somebody else that you don't know that's gonna tap you on the back and says, thank you for following what I'm doing. It makes no sense to me, and that's one of the reasons why I get some of the hate that I get, because I will not follow the mainstream, because, like I've said numerous times, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, the masses of the population thought that the world was flat. So what does the world mass of people know? They just follow other people because they want to fit into a group and be liked. It's the strong individuals that can stand out on their own, because remember, like I've also said, throughout history, the masses don't create inventions, or the masses do not change the world with a new idea. It's usually one person that does it, that's standing outside of the crowd. So you could be a follower or you could be a leader. That's up to you. So CGC was not the best option for this book, and that's why I paid the price that I paid for it. And I'm going to make a lot of money on this book, especially if Gambit shows up in the next MCU X-Men series of movies. And I have a feeling he will. A lot of people have been craving that character, and done right. So those are my books. That was the little added bonus. Thank you to the 39 people who hit the like button. I really appreciate it. I would love to know what you think about these books. Tell me what you think about the prices I paid. Did you think I made a good purchase, a bad purchase? I'll leave it up to you. And do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics. Thanks for sticking around for the little bonus round, and I hope you enjoyed